10 นาฬิกา 50 นาทีนะคะกลับเข้าสู่การบรรยายในหัวข้อที่ 2 ณ เวทีฟอรัมในงาน Startup Thailand and Innovation Thailand Expo นะคะ Feeding the World Through Innovation ค่ะปัญหาที่เราเจอกันในปัจจุบันนั้นทั่วโลกก็มีปัญหาต่างๆนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของโรคระบาดภาวะโลกร้อนหรือว่าวิกฤตเศรษฐกิจนะคะซึ่งก็เป็นปัญหาสำคัญที่เร่งให้เกิดการปรับตัวในหลายอุตสาหกรรมทีนี้จะมาดูกันว่าในอุตสาหกรรมอาหารทิศทางในอนาคตจะเป็นอย่างไรนะคะภาคธุรกิจต้องปรับตัวแบบไหนแล้วก็นวัตกรรมอะไรที่จะมา
where the food industry is heading and how can they weather the storm. Today we have Dr. Thanyawat Kasem Suwan, who's the Global Innovation Director of Thai Union Group PLC. Good morning. I'm going to talk about feeding the world through innovation. My name is Thanyawat Kasem Suwan from Thai Union Group. It is a topic that I think is a very broad one. We are the world's food canning fish tuna producer, canned tuna producer in the world. So I like to present to you this slide from reimagining food. I like this slide because every time I looked at it, I thought that since 2016, the person who produced this slide were able to look into the future to 2026. And in fact, 2016 to 2018, the prediction turned out to be true. And right now, we are in 2020. Fresh traceability, agility are already the requirements for the food industry today. And the technology they discussed at the time, like synthetic food, smart labeling, smart kitchen, molecular food, and fortified food, artificial AI, and robotics. These are some of the familiar topics, but 5 years ago we might not have thought about this. And if we look ahead to 2020 to 2026, it is worth considering what sustainability, transparency, and personalized nutrition are going to be about. And of course, these are coming our way. And so what can be enabling technologies? For example, cellular cultivation. You might also have heard cellular meat or lab-grown meat. These innovative products are being developed, and in the next 3 years, we may start to see them commercialized. And food for longevity is a new trend. Many people believe that food can help lengthen their life. And so food is not only what we feel, what sustains us only, but food is related to us through multidimensional experiences. And so this slide helps us predict the future. When we look at consumers' attitudes towards food, what has remained unchanged and will remain unchanged in the future is that people enjoy food that is delicious. If it is not delicious, if they don't like that food, the food will not sell. And another important point that remain constant is that price point have to be affordable. If it's too expensive, consumers may not be able to afford it. There are 4 components that respondents told the survey that food has to be healthy and contribute to well-being and good for strengthening immune system, Food also need to help people deal with stress and ensure deep sleep. And so health and well-being also relate to natural food. So synthetic food or synthetic chemical or food additives are something that many consumers turn away from. There may be a joke saying that if the labels say that the list of ingredients contain names that you cannot understand or cannot read or do not have at home in your pantries, they will remain distrustful, like antioxidants or PE number. So people demand clean and natural food. This is a trend I believe will remain with us. Food safety, resource sustainability is another aspect that consumer consider, that food production must not undermine the environment or damage the environment. If you produce food and then damage the ocean, at Thai unions, if we catch the fish and disrupt the food chain and the ecology, then consumers say that they would not choose to buy that type of products. Another interesting point is about food waste generated by food factories and restaurants and households amount to a large number. So in the near future, we have to address the question of food waste. And convenience, of course, is a key element. So all these four elements are important if we want to address the needs of consumers. And as I mentioned, that price have to be affordable too. Again, this slide has been borrowed from Nestle scientists, and we adapted it to our line of business. The evolution of food innovation is important because in the future, let's start with the food supply. The future, what does the future look like? We have to rely on food supply. If it's not adequate, we may not be able to do anything else in terms of agriculture. And for Thai Union, we have to consider how can we ensure adequate raw material, and so we have to take into account marine science and agriculture, how to make sure that the resources will remain sustainable. If we can guarantee food supply, then we also have to ensure food security and food preservation technology will play an important role, like frozen food. So after producing safe food, we also ensure that the food is delicious, that it tastes good. So food science technology play an important role to increase food pleasure. And good taste is important regardless of whether you want to promote safety or health and well-being. Very importantly, people will continue to want the food to taste good. And then we also want to promote health and health management. We have to promote nutrition and health science. There are many claims or health claims related to food. If people have risk of genetic disorders or heart diseases, they may have to eat different food. And with the Human Genome Projects, we are beginning to understand more about food or dietary requirements of individuals. It might not be personalized nutrition, but the food can be managed to suit different groups. But we will require to develop the health science further in order to satisfy our consumer needs. And the trend that is coming is the so-called Flexitarian. What is it? We perhaps have already heard about the terms vegan and vegetarians for some time. So this is a group of people who think that eating protein from meat or animal meat, from fish or animal-based protein will have significant impact on the environment and cause health problems. And that's why this group of people would like to reduce protein consumption from animal. And that's how the term flexitarian came about. So there are certain days when they reduce animal-based protein consumption. Since 2018, the growth of plant-based meat is 23%, and the total value sales is growing from 3.7 billion to 10 billion USD, and 10% of Americans said that they are flexitarian, and 2 in 5 of French people said that they want to reduce consuming meat, and 45% of German, 12% of UK population want to reduce meat-based protein. And there are more women than men. So if we want to develop food products, we have to respond to this growing group of customers. And now back to the Thai Union business. We call ambient seafood. Thai people may call it canned tuna, even though it may not be packaged in cans. But these are food that you do not have to put in the fridge or in the freezer to keep it in good quality. But because consumers' lifestyles are changing, and in fact changing to the detriment of that raised concern for Thai Union. And the sales from 24 billion to 26 billion, and that's the peak that was recorded in 2014. But since then, the growth has dropped. People may have more choice to choose to eat or not to eat ambient food. And so this is a significant have significant implications for Thai Union. So if the demand dropped, how are we going to respond to changing consumer behaviors? So we have redefined our goal from last year. We are now committed to healthy living and healthy oceans. So it is very clear that healthy living means that our products must bring benefits to consumer, must make consumers healthy. And we are lucky that high protein, high quality products are the focus of our portfolio anyway. And we are also continuing to care for the environment because our products are sourced from the oceans. And so we have to make sure that in doing business, we will also contribute to healthy oceans so that we will be able to have the raw material to produce and serve our customers. As I already mentioned, that we want to reduce packaging in our line of business. And that is because of the consumer insights that we received, because packaging is something that consumer may look at negatively, like tin fish. They may look at it as outdated, whether a long shelf life, would it be good to consumer to consume, whether there will be chemical residues left in the products, or there might be substances leaking from the tin to contaminate with the food. But even though we say that the product is safe, they are quoting to ensure that the food remain absolutely safe during the life of the product, 3-4 years. But despite our attempt to explain it in a scientific way, consumers will perception remain that the product is using packages that stay for a long time on the shelf. So to change consumer perception would be difficult, and they believe that the fact that the product has long life, it must contain certain chemicals. Even though we insist that it's a result of sterilization. So in trying to resolve these issues, we develop new product and new packaging to keep fish from oxidation for 2-3 years. But it is a new packaging made from polymer, 100% recyclable polymer. We launched this product in the US, the UK, and in Thailand. It was recently launched, and so it's no longer put in a tin. And when we conducted a consumer survey, the feedback is that the product look new, look fresh, even though it's a similar product. So changing packaging really is one way we can respond to the consumer feedback. And we also have the folding cutlery put inside the tin, the plastic packaging, so to respond to the demand of customers for convenience. Another product that we launched and we received the award for it, it is tuna slice. Usually you'll see it in, if we can slice tuna like ham, people will find this more familiar and more convenient to eat. And we do not use any chemical in the production. And so it responds to the need for natural and convenient and healthy food, because this is protein from fish, and it has already been launched in many markets. Another group of business related to Thai Union ingredients. We are the world's largest canned tuna company, and we have byproducts from tuna that we have not yet maximized the value. If we have the technology, we will be able to produce them and turn this byproduct into fish oil product. For example, from the fish heads that we can supply to the refinery and produce fish. and we can send it to the refineries in Germany from Seychelles and Ghana. With the technology that we have, I already mentioned the term Flexitarian. We have the technology to produce alternative protein from plants for sale to people who want to reduce animal-based protein consumption. And people also want to reduce eating tuna, and so we can also produce plant-based tuna meat. So if they want to have tuna salad, this product can be used as alternative protein. And I already talked about the tuna oil, and it is now being sold as nutrition supplements. And these have already been launched in the market. Two new products have already been introduced. One is C Vita calcium from tuna bone. Mahidol University conducted a research commissioned by us to identify the benefits from tuna bone powder, which gives out very high calcium content. And the second product is tuna fish oil extract, using advanced technology in its production, and it's produced from tuna fish head, and it contains the highest content of oil content, and it has already been put in the place in the market. As I said, that consumers are looking for health food that is good for their health, particularly during the times of the pandemic. And interestingly, there's during the pandemic is better communication. Many products are of high quality. For our business, canned tuna is delicious, high quality, and people will really enjoy it. But we have not yet addressed other benefits, for example, in improving immunity, because it contains high selenium, perhaps the highest selenium content from 76 microgram per 100 grams, so the highest level of selenium content that contribute to better immunity. And without changing the formula at all, so we can highlight other benefits that have not yet been publicized to communicate to consumers to help market the products better. I think I spend a lot of your time. So to sum up, if you have not listened from me from the start, so feeding the world through innovation, I think future food will have to continue to respond to the needs of consumers. And based out from our study, they are paying attention to health and wellness and naturalness. So products have to be good for their health. And very importantly, people have to understand that good food that is good for their health, have to also good for the environment. So resource sustainability play an important role. Population will continue to grow substantially in the future, and we may not be able to produce enough food to feed the world. So the food that will be produced will have to contribute to reducing food waste, and we make sure that sourcing of the food would be done properly, and convenience to consumer have to be ensured. And this is what is important. What lays at the foundation is that food has to be affordable, the prices have to be right, and food have to have great taste, and food pleasure will remain important. So I like to leave that to conclude my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thanyawat Kasem Suwan, Global Innovation Director of Thai Union Group, PLC, who presented to us the business adjustment of Thai Union Group and also introduced to us what innovative practices Thai Union has been adopted during the times of pandemic. We will come back after this